one left.
Oh, I'm fucked up fancy.
Alright, ready.
I already started recording.
Oh, okay.
You started one already?
Wow.
The streets know how many inches you have. Yeah.
Use that for promo. Okay, hi guys, welcome back to All Things Footy with Jules. Today we have
Beatrice
and
Audrey.
And today we're just going to be talking about growing up as a black female, watching and being interested in football. I'm just going to ask the ladies a few questions and we're just going to have a discussion. Yeah. So the first question is, obviously, what teams do you support? And how old were you when you started supporting these teams?
I support Man United and I started supporting Man United when I was 6 or 7.
I support Man United and I started supporting United around 8. Well, that's what I remember. I don't remember before that.
Yeah. So how did you come about watching football? Like, is it your siblings or is it just one day you just thought, oh yeah, I want to start? Why that sport?
Do you know what? Funny enough, I'm the only girl that actually likes football in my family. So I have older cousins and it was one of those things where when I was in primary school, they just finally made a football team for the girls, didn't it? So I thought
in primary school?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
We used to go Lucian District in Blackheath.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of that? Lucian District. Have you heard of District?
Yeah.
The Lucian District when they go and kickball different schools.
Yeah, but as girls.
Yeah, it's
not fair.
they started it, innit? So me and my friends were like, you know what, let's just do it for fun, innit? We might as well because we're seeing what the boys are doing. You know, we just wanted to leave school.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get out of school. So I used to do it. Then I thought, okay, this doesn't look as bad, and I took it seriously. We'll get to that point when you ask that question. But yeah.
So,
What was the question again? Sorry?
how did you come about watching sports? Like, why that sport?
Oh, it was just a family thing. I just remember we used to watch. My dad, he used to watch every sport. He doesn't even have a team. He just watched sport. He watched football, cricket, WWE. So we just watched it as a family. And my dad's he liked Tottenham. So when I was younger, he got me a Tottenham kit.
Oh.
But then I realised, nah, me and my brothers, let's do the Man United thing.
Oh, so all of them?
All of us support Man United.
Okay, so what's your first memory of, like, probably your biggest game, like, in the season? Like, did you go to a game? Was it just at home? What's your first memory of, like, yeah, this is why I want to watch the sport?
You know, it has to be the Ronaldo and Rooney arena. That's why I enjoyed watching football. Like, I genuinely enjoyed watching Ronaldo, Tevez, and then play. Like, I actually enjoyed it. And my favourite moment has to be the 8-2 against Arsenal. Okay. I'm not saying because you're Arsenal supporter, but
that's probably one of my worst memories. But
like, I don't think people on Twitter like that. I don't think BBM wasn't popping like that.
It wasn't. Because I don't remember being on social media talking about it. I think
it was Bieber or Facebook when it was popping, and I wish that ever happened now. Like
I think I would have deactivated. I won't lie.
I think that's one of the best moments as a Man United fan watching that game. Because my brother supports Arsenal, my cousin supports Arsenal, so it was like, yeah. But I think, yeah, that was a good game. That was
you?
I remember like certain footballers, like Ronaldo, obviously, one of my favourites. When he left, I was literally heartbroken. I stopped watching the team for a bit. But who else was there? Like Hargreaves, he's like one person. I don't know why I remember him so much. I don't know. I just like the way he used to run and tackle. Like, I loved him.
You didn't even name Anderson.
I didn't like Anderson, but Hargreaves, I don't know.
You did not like Anderson?
No, I didn't.
You're a hater.
I liked Hargreaves though. I don't know why till today. Like, I don't know. Nani, I liked him as well. What's that?
Towards the end, he wasn't like though, was he?
No, do you know what? I think the problem with Nani, I'm going to probably get backlash from this. Nani should be on the same wavelength as Ronaldo, but I think his injury set him back. Because he was injury prone. Like, Nani will come, do small skill tackle on that wing, but then has injury done. He's like Young, because when Young was before Young was a good player, you know, but the injury fucked him up.
Young was actually really good.
At Villa, he was good, you know. But like, you know, sometimes injuries just set people back.
So
yeah, it's what it is, man.
Have you guys ever tried to hide the fact that you support, like, watch football?
No.
So
Never.
like, it's always been like a pride, like a good thing. Because some people are like ashamed. They'll be like, okay, not many people watch it, so I'm not gonna say that I watch it.
Well, secondary school, I just remember me and the boys would literally be in the corner discussing, and then a girl will come and just try and like pretend to be among, but it's quite obvious.
Yes,
from the
so
get-go.
that goes on to my next
Yeah.
question. Your perception of the perception of other girls in your school about having an opinion on football. Like, was it good? Was it bad? Did they think you did it for clout?
You know what?
Or...
I was at a girls' school, so there's no clout to be done in my school.
Yeah, so how was it like in your school there? Like, did you have other girls that liked football, or was it just...
I think in my school, it's gonna sound funny, but the white girls like playing football. You know those white girls with ponytails and like tomboys. They love playing football, and then there was only certain black girls that like playing football. But you need to remember, in the girls' school, our main sport was netball. When I went to go, like, we focus on netball. That's what they did. That's less feminine. But because I had my teacher, my tutor, he was he was our coach. So he put together the football team. Said, you know what, you guys come play football. The same thing we done in the Lucian district. We used to play against is it Blackheath schools, like there was Thomas Tallet, like those schools, and them were good at football. Like, they were good at football, but we did.
So was it always just females versus females, or
we did females versus females. We had to do females versus females. Because now I have to do
your GoalDiggers.
I actually remember playing like with the boys football. I'm just picturing
what, for fun?
Yeah, for fun, like, and during PE as well.
I was never picked.
I was always picked because like I wasn't scared of tackling. Like, I'll tackle someone, like I would get in there.
My school was just full of those girls that wore PE kits but they didn't do PE. They would go and watch the boys play football, but they would just be there for the sake of it. But like deep down, I wanted to join in, but I couldn't because it's like, no one else wants to play. So it's just like, okay, let me just sit back.
To be fair, when I went Christ the King, that changed because I did sports and fitness. So there was only like 3 girls in my class. None of the boys are in that no one's really gonna say that we're paying for club because out every sport while we do it. So I have played football with boys, and playing football with boys is completely different because they take that completely serious. Like they take I won't recommend it. Oh,
Them times I was fit though. I was fit, like I could run and I could literally like press.
Boys took it too seriously. Nah,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So now we're gonna move on to a bit more of a trickier scene. Do you think there's a link between being a black female and football? So, for example, racism and being called out of your name.
definitely.
Being compared to players, which is like the big thing nowadays,
Definitely.
especially on the internet.
Yeah, of course, because
Give us an example. Give us your take.
I've been compared to Pogba before, and do you know what? No, do you know what? Do you know what?
I still remember the tweet till today.
I was really, you know what? Yeah. At first, I was laughing, but then again, I deeped it. Like, why am I getting compared to Pogba? Why am I not getting compared to like Harry Kane? Like,
why would you get compared to
No. I actually tweeted that as well. Why are they compared to Harry Kane? I actually asked why Harry Kane.
Why would you know the whole point of racism? They're gonna compare to a black.
That's what I'm saying. I asked him why Harry Kane. He didn't have a reply. I didn't have a reply for me. Okay, I said, okay, let me not use Harry Kane. Why not what's his name? Why not him? One Raheem Sterling.
They go for the ugly.
Pogba's not ugly.
Yeah, but
Pogba's glowed up in the last couple of years.
Yeah, but I think the racial underlines that they're saying that I look like a man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I look like a man. I don't do nothing compared to Pogba. And I think with Twitter, I've found a way to battle against this. If they call you Pogba, report to Twitter, don't go back at them, because everyone knows that when you compare a black lady to a black footballer, there's one thing, racism. No one can come and say to me, how do you not saying that you're good at football? No, they're not, because there's so many other footballers that you can use to compare me to. Forget Pogba. The Pogba one's probably even kind of my fault. Because I tweeted the Pogba we had versus the one we had, I didn't expect them to do, because if a boy did that, no one's going to compare a black boy to a black footballer. I haven't seen a black boy be compared to a black footballer. I've never seen it. it was always girls. And one is another example, Yolande. Oh my god,
that was the worst.
She got what? Did she get seven?
Sorry, yes, she got
Sanya,
everything.
she got everyone.
Everyone.
She got everyone. Like even bringing up footballers I've never even seen
Insane.
before. Like just people that just looked.
It's bad, but I think it's a society thing because obviously to people, black women are less attractive or whatever. That's a society thing. Me personally, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
So obviously it's filtered into people's minds that okay, yeah, it's a black lady shouting about football. The best thing to shout out and to get laughs is compared to for example, why is Pogba laughing? Before you know it, bare retweets, people are laughing. Oh yeah, she does look like Pogba. But then if you look at the person that they're comparing to Pogba and look at you, there's no similarities apart from skin tone. I can't say features because me and Pogba's features are different.
100%.
Like they're completely different. If it was a thing where okay, cool,
you actually look like
siblings.
siblings.
Yeah, then fair enough. It's, not, it's just
siblings.
Boy, that's my take on it.
So do you think this will ever change?
No.
Like,
No.
do you think it's just going to be a thing where it's just probably going to get worse?
I don't think it'll get worse. I think it'll get better, but I don't think it will stop.
Better how?
Better, like, the more women speak about football, the more people get used to it. Because I feel like the people that make comments like that already, they're not used to seeing women like banter about football. Exactly.
People that have no names.
It's just ignorance.
Yeah, basically.
So the more people like get educated, not educated, but start seeing it about, then
it's not going to
reduce.
get. I don't think it's going to get better because Eni Aluko was victim of racism from her own coach in the England squad. No one knew anything about it. Okay, her England squad. I don't know the full story, but all I remember is that she was victim of racism. I don't know if her teammates spoke about it or whatever, but that case dragged until I think they finally got him out of here. So like you can't say it's going to get better when you've actually have a female footballer come out and speak on her experiences being black and being a lady and people around her. I'll get back to that subject. I wanted to research properly, but I remember she had a situation.
So that brings it on to the next question. Are men in the industry protecting us enough? Like, for example, the whole thing you just spoke about, was it not during the World Cup as well? The pundits did something on the panel and everyone was calling her, I can't remember what happened, but it was on the panel and then and Evra and all that. So like, are they protecting us enough? Like, are they speaking enough about it? Or
I think Evra was just patronising. She said something that was really good. Actually, she made a really good point, and he was like, "Oh, I'm really impressed," and he started clapping, and it was just patronising. But I don't think in that moment he realised how patronising it was. It was like people watching it were like, "What are you doing? Like, you're both doing the same job, yet you're acting surprised that she knows her facts. Like, what did you expect her to do?"
Okay, before we even go to that, what black women getting protected? Do you mean black women in the media?
Black women in the media.
Okay, are they protecting white women in the media? No. So why they? How can they can't?
Okay,
jump
women in general then.
Are
they protecting us enough for those that like to watch football or enjoy football? And
I think this way it comes to like men and women in it. Women's football don't get enough coverage. It has to take someone major to speak about women's football in it. So,
don't you think people already do speak about it? They just.
I just think the interest levels are just not there.
Yeah, it's true because I see what they do with Alex Scott. She says good points. You have to remember on the tweets saying, "Oh, she's talking rubbish," blah blah blah. But I'm sure
the thing is, right, when a woman says it's somehow rubbish. But if a man says the same thing, he's not getting the same.
Because she's still doing the same.
They can say the same thing word for word.
Yeah. She just reminded me, the USA won the World Cup. Men were saying, "Oh, why are they celebrating like that? This and that."
Oh, the teacups and
not like, come on, we've seen Ronaldo.
We've seen players do worse.
That's true.
Worse.
That's actually true.
And do you know who? Piers Morgan pissed me off his tweet.
I blocked that guy time.
Nah, I think the USA got the short hair. I don't know her name. I think she's a captain.
Their main
Rapinoe.
Yeah, her. He said something saying that.
Rapinoe Ho.
What?
Probably.
I think
they remixed her name, like all the British people.
She said she did something, and then Piers Morgan said, "Oh, you say should be embarrassing about themselves. The men don't act like this. Yeah, because the men can't fucking go past and get to a final.
The women are more important than the men in the USA.
Yeah, when it comes to World Cup. So that's a good example. It's true. They don't protect us. They bring them. They generally do bring women down. That was a prime example of the World Cup, and I'm so happy the USA women did not delete anything. They didn't say anything back.
They didn't apologise. They just
being themselves.
It's girls being girls. I think people need to remember, yes, girls play football, but we're always going to be a girl. Do you see the videos? Them like dancing, twerking in the room. We're girls. Yes, we play football. We're always going to be girls. When guys go and start throwing drinks or doing just when no one says to them, oh, it's a bit too much. You're embarrassing England. So no, sorry, they don't. I think to an extent they do, but they don't. At the same time, that World Cup scenario is a prime example. That was very annoying. They literally just won the World Cup. I think back to back because they've been winning the come on, man. If England did that, if England men did that, is anyone gonna say, oh, they're embarrassing England? No, they're not gonna say that because we're women.
Off day.
I feel like
bank holiday.
With women, they make it seem like we need to be like classy and behave like women. No, it's not like that anymore. Women
they hold us to a higher standard than the men. Like men can get away with way more.
It's done.
So if you've ever played football, give an example of how you was viewed by your peers and how it made you feel. Like, was you ever called out? Was you ever looked at funny by your female friends or anything like that?
I think I'm happy I had good
First
set
of
of
all, who
friends.
did you pay for?
I played for my school, so I played for St. Joseph's, St. Primary School, and I played for St. Ursula's, and also played for Christ the King College, innit? So I feel like, obviously, I'm not with primary school. Okay, cool. I'm still learning myself. I'm still enjoying the sport. So you have the girly girls in school that when like their breasts have grown already, they start painting their face. They did look at me funny. Oh, you think you're just doing it to be like the boys? But I was like, no, because I was actually a tomboy. Funny enough. So even when we did play the Lucian District thing in Blackheath, I remember I wore a woolly hat, and someone said to me, "Oh, that's a boy in the pitch. They're cheating." I was like, "No!" I was like, "No, it's
seriously."
Yeah, me like. I remember, I'm talking about, me and them, what's the name? We used to do it. We used to play football. We used to go like tomboys, innit? And I was thinking, oh right, so how much I like boys. I actually had to take off my hat to prove that I'm a girl. I'm a girl, innit? Cool. I think when I got to secondary school, like I said, luckily for me, I went to a all-girls school. Everyone had their own sorts. People done dance, people done netball, people done basketball, whatever. But I've always been competitive. I've always liked doing sports. I've been doing sports. I think when I got to college, no one can really tell me, oh, Audrey, oh, you're doing it for clout now, but this and that, because I'm doing a course that's for 2 years. I won't put myself for the sake of clout to do a course for 2 years. I feel like people around me did kind of realise, oh, Audrey just actually genuinely likes sports, not just football, but she enjoys doing sports. I used to go to CTK sports day. Go and compete against other CTKs. Yeah, we went against Sidcup and what's the other one? Was it Broccoli? Yeah. I wouldn't go out my way and do that. I could easily say no. So I feel like the people around me, I think as I got older, they actually genuinely realised, wow, I enjoy doing it. Because I'm 22 now. How can I use clout for the whole 22 years of my life? These days, sport don't mean anything to boys because a lot of girls now, more girls are open to it.
Open about it. So, moving on to our final question. Has any of your MCMs stopped talking to you or dating you because you're interested in football?
No.
So every single person that you speak to, they genuinely just like, okay,
yeah.
They ask that question there. Oh, name me 5 people from your team. I mean, I name them the old people. Like,
wow, you know your sports. No, because I know some people, they're just like, oh yeah, my MCM doesn't like it. My MCM doesn't watch it.
That's weird. Maybe if you're with someone that doesn't watch football. Yeah. Maybe.
They'll obviously find it weird if you're there like, okay, like let's go to football match, and they're like, nah, I'm not on it.
I've never dated anyone that doesn't watch football. So.
I have, you know.
I haven't.
I actually have. He wasn't into it. He said he supported the team, but he wasn't into it. I was more into it than he was. And it wasn't that bad. It just wasn't that, like, okay, he'll look at the results.
But at least he has a team he supported. Some people don't watch it at all.
Yeah,
like,
but
they don't support a team, nothing.
Did he watch it?
Like,
did you ever watch it together?
Nah, like any of the big games. Not the small games, if that makes sense. Like, if he's playing at the top 6. But it's one of those ones where I think after Fergie left, he just stopped. He couldn't bother, but he said he supports Man United. But I've never dated someone there's only person I've dated that doesn't watch football like that. Me funny, when a boy says to me he doesn't watch football, I look at him funny.
I look at them.
Yeah,
funny.
I'm not gonna lie.
And then I ask, any no other sport? No. If you say no, then I'm out. Sorry.
Wait, what? You're out, as in?
How can you not watch any sport? Not even boxing. Nothing.
It's weird.
Nah,
Yeah,
that's
but what if they
weird,
just
sorry.
don't want to watch sports?
What do you do? What do you watch then?
You must have, you need to watch one sport.
Basketball, something.
Yeah, even cricket or something. True.
Exactly,
If
even
that Formula
cricket.
1 thing.
No, because I know
No,
someone that
seriously.
generally does not watch like any sports.
Is
That's
that a fact?
No.
Let's cut that bit.
Don't
Let's
do
say I
body shaming on this channel.
No,
Where does that even come from?
Nah, you
Are
need
they
some-
weird?
No, they're normal.
Nah,
Are you
that's
sure?
Yeah, they're my friends.
So even during World Cup or African Cup of Nations,
No,
they're no
they don't.
interest. That's scary.
They're Caribbean, so they don't really have a choice of World Cup.
Okay, they've got what Olympic. They don't watch Olympics. That's a sport.
No, I've never
Exactly.
I've
You
never
never
seen
watched
them
the
like sit
Olympics.
down and be like, okay, yeah,
That
I
is
support
mad.
it.
So the World Cup, when everyone's going out
Yeah.
enjoying, you sit down at home doing what? Nah, that's dead.
I genuinely like this person is this weird. They're weird. They're normal though.
No, they're not.
They are.
I
But
think
you're not
that's
dating
weird.
them, so it's a different perspective. Like
Nah.
if you're dating someone where you're watching football and they're not into it and they're getting stroppy because you're watching, nah.
Nah, that's weird. Your friend's weird because
No, he's not.
Nah,
No, he
my cousin,
genuinely-
my cousin's a girly girl. She doesn't watch football or anything. But when it comes to like African Cup of Nations or England,
People
they're
watch
active.
it,
They're
yeah.
there. It's your country sport.
I don't know, man, but
That's
Yeah.
weird.
okay. That was just a quick little chit chat with the girls. Thanks for having us, and make sure you comment, subscribe, follow their socials, follow the GoalDiggers, and keep watching and keep supporting.